One sun-drenched morning, Chief Obidi, frail and burdened, ventured out to the edges of the vibrant Eek market. He sought herbs, a futile balm for the deeper sickness in his soul. Returning, fate steered him down a path that intersected with young Chike, who carried in his arms the very essence of hope and healing for the widows. As Chief Obidi watched from a distance, his heart clenched at the sight of Chike. The boy bore a striking resemblance to him in his youth, a mirror reflecting his own past self. With each step closer, Chief Obidi felt a rush of emotions flood over him, a mix of nostalgia, regret, and an overwhelming sense of recognition. Questions raced through Chief Obidi's mind, each one a dagger of uncertainty. Could this boy be my own flesh and blood? Did I unknowingly contribute to his suffering just as I did to Ifeka's? And if so, how can I ever make amends for the pain I've caused? The sight of the boy halted Chief Obidi's breath. Here was a living echo of his past. Whose son are you, young one? He asked, the words nearly catching in his throat, his mind swirling with memories of days long gone and the painful realization of the legacy he had unknowingly passed on. I am Ifeka's son, Chikere answered, innocent to the storm he had just awakened. At those words, Chief Obidi's world narrowed to the ground beneath him, the herbs scattering like the pieces of his broken spirit. Tears surged, uncontrollable, a deluge of sorrow, breaking free from years of restraint. With arms that trembled with loss and longing, he pulled Chikere close, the boy's confusion piercing him like a lance. As Chief Obidi embraced Chikere, a realization washed over him like the first rains of the wet season. Through his veil of tears, he saw himself in the boy's eyes, his own features reflected back in a visage much younger and unmarred by life's trials. Chikere's face was a mirror to his past, to a time when his own visage bore the same innocence and unspoken dreams. Look at you, Chief Obidi murmured to himself, a mix of wonder and heartache in his voice. You are my blood, wearing the face I once knew as my own. In that moment, the chief's heart swelled with a blend of sorrow and love so potent it shook his very foundation. He thought of all the years lost, all the moments he could have seen this resemblance grow, the missed chance to see himself in Chikere's laughter, in his curious gaze upon the world. Chief Obidi's tears flowed unhindered, each one a silent promise to Chikere. In the boy's bewildered embrace, Chief Obidi found a semblance of hope amid his regrets, a hope that perhaps forgiveness was within reach, and with it a chance to embrace a future with the son who was so unmistakably his own. Please, he begged, his voice fractured by sobs, lead me to your mother. His embrace, though trembling, became a fortress against a lifetime of remorse. Who are you? Chikere's small voice was a whisper amid the cacophony of the market. I am Chief Obidi, your father. Forgive me, forgive me. He wept openly, each tear a testament to his remorse, a silent plea for the mercy he scarcely felt he deserved. Chikere's eyes widened with shock and disbelief. My father, he whispered, unable to comprehend the weight of Chief Obidi's confession. Yet even as confusion clouded his young mind, there was a flicker of recognition, a sense of connection that stirred deep within him. Chief Obidi reached out, his hand trembling as he gently cupped Chikere's cheek. Yes, my son, he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. I know I have wronged you and your mother in ways I can never fully express. But if you can find it in your heart to forgive me, I promise to spend the rest of my days making amends, to be the father you deserve. Tears glistened in Chikere's eyes as he gazed into Chief Obidi's tear-stained face. I don't know, he murmured softly, his heart torn between the pain of the past and the hope of a better future. But I will try. With those words, a fragile bond began to form between father and son, a bond forged in the crucible of forgiveness, a bond that held the promise of healing and redemption for them both. And as they stood there amidst the bustling market, the echoes of their shared pain mingling with the sounds of life around them, they knew that their journey towards reconciliation had only just begun. As Chike stood in the midst of the bustling market, torn between his duty to the widows and his newfound encounter with his father, a tumult of emotions washed over him. His heart, heavy with the weight of Chief Obidi's revelation, urged him to accompany his father to meet Ifeka, the mother he had longed to reunite with. With a heavy sigh, Chikere turned to Chief Obidi, his eyes reflecting both uncertainty and a glimmer of newfound hope. Come, he said softly, his voice barely above a whisper. I will take you to her. As they made their way through the bustling streets of Agboka, Chief Obidi's presence beside him felt both foreign and familiar to Chikere. Memories, long buried beneath layers of hurt and resentment, began to resurface, stirring a complex mix of emotions within him. When they finally reached Efeka's humble dwelling, Chikere's heart quickened with anticipation and trepidation. He hesitated for a moment at the threshold, unsure of how his mother would receive this unexpected visitor. But Chief Obidi's trembling hand on his shoulder offered a silent reassurance, urging Chikere to take the first step forward. With a deep breath, he pushed open the door, the creaking sound echoing in the stillness of the room. Ifeka turned from her task at the hearth, her eyes widening in surprise at the sight of Chikere standing before her, accompanied by a figure she had long thought lost to the shadows of the past. Mother! Chikere's voice trembled as he spoke, the weight of unspoken emotions hanging heavy in the air. I have brought someone to see you. Ifeka's gaze shifted to Chief Obidi, her expression a mixture of disbelief and guarded hope. For a moment, the room seemed to hold its breath as mother and son stood face to face with the man whose presence had once brought both joy and sorrow into their lives. Ifeka's gaze shifted to Chief Obidi, her eyes betraying a flood of emotions too tumultuous to name. Her heart raced as memories, both painful and tender, surged to the forefront of her mind. She had longed for this moment, and yet now that it was upon her, she found herself paralyzed by a wave of uncertainty. Chief Obidi stood before her, a shadow of the man she once knew, his eyes pleading for forgiveness, his presence a haunting reminder of a past she had struggled to forget. But beneath the weariness etched into his features, she glimpsed a flicker of remorse, a glimmer of the man he could still become. Tears welled in Efeka's eyes as she took in the sight of her estranged husband, the father of her beloved Chikere. Every fiber of her being yearned to reach out, to bridge the chasm that had divided them for so long, and yet fear held her back, fear of reopening old wounds, fear of once again being betrayed by the one she had once loved so fiercely. But as she looked into Chief Obadi's eyes, she saw not just the man who had caused her pain, but also the man who had once filled her heart with love and joy. And in that moment, something shifted within her, a seed of hope planted amidst the wreckage of their fractured relationship. With trembling hands, Efeka reached out, her fingers brushing against Chief Obidi's cheek, tracing the lines of sorrow etched into his skin. Forgive me, she whispered, her voice barely audible above the pounding of her heart. Forgive me for the walls I have built around my heart, for the pain I have carried for so long. Chief Obidi's eyes widened in disbelief as her words washed over him, a balm to his wounded soul. He took her hand in his touch tentative yet filled with longing. I am sorry, my love, he murmured, his voice thick with emotion. Sorry for the mistakes I have made, for the pain I have caused you and our son. And as their hands entwined, a sense of healing washed over them, a healing born not from the erasure of past hurts, but from the acknowledgement of their shared humanity, their shared capacity for forgiveness and redemption. In a moment of vulnerability, Ifeka leaned into Chief Obidi, her body trembling with emotion. With tears streaming down her cheeks, she sobbed uncontrollably, releasing years of pent-up anguish and sorrow. And in that embrace, Chief Obidi held her close, his own tears mingling with hers as they surrendered to the raw intensity of their shared pain and longing. Amidst their shared grief, a faint hope emerged in their embrace, offering solace and a chance for wounds to heal and reconciliation to begin. As they wept, they knew their journey to forgiveness would be tough, yet united by love, they faced a new beginning. As Chief Obidi held Efeka's face gently in his hands, his heart trembled with the weight of his longing and regret. Tears welled in his eyes, each one a testament to the depth of his sorrow and the fervency of his plea.
Please take me back, Ifeka, my love. Take me back into your heart, into our family. I know I have caused you immeasurable pain, but I swear to you, I will spend the rest of my days making amends, proving myself worthy of your love once more.
He whispered, his voice quivering with emotion. His words hung in the air, heavy with the ache of a soul laid bare, desperate for redemption. With trembling hands, Chief Obidi cupped Ifeka's face, his touch gentle, yet charged with the intensity of his emotions.
I cannot erase the mistakes of the past, but I can promise you this. I will cherish you. I will honor you. And I will spend every moment of my life striving to be the husband and father you deserve.
He confessed, his voice choked with emotion. In that moment, time seemed to stand still as Chief Obidi poured his heart out, his vulnerability laid bare for Ife to see. And as she looked into his tear-filled eyes, she felt a surge of emotions wash over her, a tidal wave of pain, love, and hope crashing against the shores of her heart. With trembling lips, Efeka reached out to touch Chief Obidi's cheek, her fingers tracing the lines of his face as if to memorize every contour, every crease. "Oh, Obidi," she whispered, her voice barely above a whisper, "how can I ever find it in my heart to forgive you?" As Ifeka spoke, she felt a shift within, a spark of forgiveness emerging. Leaning into Obidi's embrace, her heart embraced the possibility of healing and a fresh start. Tears in her eyes, Ifeka whispered shakily, "Obidi, the pain you've caused is deeper than words can express." Ifeka paused, her intense gaze meeting Obidi's, her eyes a mirror to the tumult of emotions swirling within pain, anger, but beneath it all, faint traces of the love that once bound their hearts. In that charged silence, she remembered Neka's guiding words, the mentor who had illuminated her path towards redemption. Reflecting on Neka's wisdom, Ifeka found her voice, steadier now, resonating with a newfound resolve. "Neka, the wise woman, once shared with me," she began, her words weaving through the heavy air, "that our journey isn't solely about uncovering truths or seeking retribution. It's profoundly more. It's about embracing love, extending forgiveness, and embarking on a heartfelt quest towards healing our wounded spirits and reclaiming the essence of our shared humanity." "Can you please tell me about Neka?" Chief Obidi inquired, his voice carrying a mix of curiosity and earnestness, hinting at the importance of understanding her role and influence in the unfolding events. Efeka, with a gentle smile, replied, "That's a story for another day." As their words lingered, A hopeful possibility emerged. Despite past pain, there might be room for redemption and love. Holding each other, they embraced the chance that forgiveness could mend deep wounds. As Ifeka and Chief Obidi embraced, their tears mingling in a poignant display of shared emotion, Chikere stood still, a silent observer to the powerful moment unfolding before him. Their son, Chikere, watched this delicate dance of reconciliation, his emotions a tangle of hope and fear. The sight of his parents, so vulnerable and yet so hopeful, made him ponder the possibility of healing. As they embraced, each tear they shed was a testament to their shared pain and the tentative steps they were taking towards mending the deep fissures of their past. This moment, bridging the chasm of hurt and forgiveness, marked a crucial point in their journey towards a renewed kinship. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm amber glow over the village of Agboka, the air buzzed with anticipation. The home of Chief Obidi, once shrouded in a cloud of sorrow and regret, was now alive with the vibrant sounds of preparation and joy. Word had spread like wildfire. Ifeka, guided by the wisdom of Okoro, had decided to give Obidi a second chance, a decision that had set the wheels of change in motion. Okoro, a respected elder and friend to the family, had spoken to Ifeka in the quiet before dawn. His words, gentle yet firm, had reminded her of the power of forgiveness and the potential for renewal. Life, he had said, is a quilt of second chances. Sew yours with threads of compassion and understanding. With her heart buoyed by Okoro's counsel and her son Chikere by her side, Ifeka made the poignant journey back to Obidi's house. It was more than a return to a place. It was a reclaiming of her past, her identity, and the life she had left behind. The gates that once symbolized her exit from a life of turmoil now welcomed her back to a promise of new beginnings. Ifeka, accompanied by her young teenage son, Chikere, made her way to the mansion she once shared with Chief Obidi. The decision to return had not been an easy one. It was a choice born of deep reflection, guided by the wisdom of Okoro and the healing journey she had undertaken with Neka. The village seemed to hold its breath as Ifeka approached, her steps resolute yet heavy with the weight of memories and the uncertainty of the welcome she might receive. Chikere, sensing the significance of the moment, clutched her hand tighter, his young eyes filled with a mix of apprehension and curiosity. As Ifeka approached the compound, a flood of memories enveloped her, with each familiar sight and sound tugging at her heart. Yet it was the presence of Etsioma, the daughter of Chief Obidi's second wife, Ezika, and the only child Ezika had before Ifeka's departure, that truly brought her to a standstill. Now a young teenager, Ezioma exuded a quiet strength as she played in the courtyard, her laughter echoing as a vivid testament to the life that had flourished in Ifeka's absence. Ezioma paused, eyeing Ifeka curiously as she approached. The uncertainty in the air was palpable until Ifeka, with open arms and a tender smile, bridged the gap between them. Sensing the warmth and sincerity emanating from Ifeka, Izioma, moved by an instinctual pull towards kindness, stepped forward into the embrace. It was a moment where actions spoke louder than memories, with Ifeka's tears and whispered promises weaving a nascent bond between them, hinting at the beginnings of understanding and healing. Chikere, witnessing the tender reunion, felt a surge of emotion he could scarcely understand. Yet, instinctively, he knew this moment marked a new chapter. He joined the embrace, wrapping his arms around both Efeka and Ezioma. completing the circle of their reconstituted family. In his heart, he whispered silent thanks to Nika and Okoro, whose wisdom and guidance had shepherded them to this moment of healing. The villagers who had watched this reunion unfold shared in the collective sigh of relief and hope that swept through Agboka. The sight of Ifeka and Ezioma united in forgiveness and love served as a powerful testament to the village's enduring spirit and the possibility of new beginnings. Ifeka! Ezioma, my little one, I've carried you in my heart every moment since the day I had to leave. I've dreamed of this moment, to see your beautiful face, to hear your voice. I know I've missed so much, and I'm sorry, truly sorry for not being here. Ezioma, looking into Efeka's eyes, sees the sincerity and the pain reflected in them. She senses the truth in her words, feeling an inexplicable tug at her heart towards this woman who kneels before her with so much love and regret. Ezioma, with a mix of curiosity and vulnerability, admitted to Efeka, I don't really remember you, but I've heard stories. Mommy, why did you go? Did I do something wrong? The innocence and confusion in her voice deeply touched Efeka, bringing tears to her eyes. She reassured Ezioma with a gentle shake of her head and a tender touch. Oh, my dear child, no, you did nothing wrong. It was never about you. There were difficulties, things beyond your control or mine. Leaving was the hardest choice I ever made, and not a day went by that I didn't think of you, wishing I could be by your side. I'm here now, and I want to be a part of your life if you'll let me. Izioma, deeply moved by Efeka's heartfelt words and the visible tears in her eyes, felt an inner warmth and sensed the significance of their reunion. It was as if a door to healing and new beginnings was opening before her. Yearning for the maternal bond she'd missed, Etsioma ventured, I've missed having a mommy. Can we start now? Can you be here for me? Efeka, visibly moved and with emotions brimming, responded with a fervent nod and a tight embrace, her heart full of love and appreciation for this opportunity to make amends. Yes, my darling, we start now. I'm here for you, always. We have so much to share, and I promise to be the best mother I can be for you. You are my blessing, Etsioma, and I thank the stars for this moment with you, she affirmed, their bond sealed with a promise of unwavering support and a future filled with shared moments. As they hold each other, the barriers of the past crumble away, leaving only the purity of a mother's love and a child's forgiving heart. This is their new beginning, a journey they now embark on together, with the setting sun bearing witness to their bond, reborn in the heart of Agboka. As Ifeka and Ezioma share this moment of reconnection, let me take you back to a time that sheds light on the pain and decisions that have led us here. We find Ezika alone, holding a cherished photograph of Ezioma, her eyes filled with a mixture of love and regret. In her voice, heavy with the weight of past choices, she confesses, leaving Ezioma was my hardest choice. I believed she'd be better off. I wanted her to have the future she deserved, even if it meant without me. This journey into the past helps us understand the depth of sacrifice and love intertwined in the fabric of their story. Chief Obidi, overwhelmed by the magnitude of the moment, had spared no effort in celebrating their return. The compound was a tableau of festivity, with music that soared to the heavens and dance that stirred the soul. The villagers, who had come in droves, whispered among themselves in awe, witnessing the transformative power of love and forgiveness. In the midst of this jubilation, Chief Obidi stood, his gaze fixed on Efeka and Chikere. The joy of their return was etched in every line of his face, but there was more. a resolve to be the man they deserved. The man who once ruled with an iron fist now spoke passionately about justice and reconciliation, championing the causes that Ifeka held dear. His transformation was not just in words but in deeds, supporting her in the healing journey of their family and the revival of Agboka village. Together, they embarked on this path of healing, their efforts a beacon of hope for the entire village. Efeka, with Obidi's unwavering support, became a symbol of resilience, leading initiatives that breathed new life into Agboka, weaving the fabric of the community back together, stitch by stitch. Chief Obidi now stood as a beacon of change, championing the cause of the marginalized and voiceless. His most fervent crusade was for the widows of the village, who had long been sidelined, their voices drowned out by tradition and superstition. With Ifeka by his side, Obidi's advocacy breathed new life into their struggles, ensuring they were heard, respected, and given their rightful place in the community. In a twist of fate, the winds of truth swept through Agboka, unveiling secrets long buried. Efeka's stepmother, faced with the unyielding spirit of the community and the weight of her own conscience, confessed to the heinous act that had taken Ifeka's mother from them. The revelation shook the village to its core, leading to her banishment, a decision that marked the end of an era of deceit and the dawn of one of truth and transparency. As months went by, with stars casting their hopeful glow each night, Efeka, Obidi, and Chikere stood together, a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit. Obidi, true to his promises, had not only won back the hearts of his family, but had also etched a new legacy in the annals of Agboka, a legacy of love, redemption, and unwavering commitment to the betterment of his people. The story of their lives, once marred by pain and separation, was now a beacon of hope for all, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is light, there is redemption, and above all, there is love. And as they looked towards the horizon, ready to face whatever lay ahead, they knew they were no longer defined by their past, but by the promise of their future together. This wave of change brought with it a call for the return of Neka, the wise woman who had once been banished from Agboka under a cloud of controversy. The villagers, inspired by Obidi's call for truth and reconciliation, recognized the injustice of her exile. They sought to mend the fabric of their community by inviting Nika back, acknowledging her wisdom and the role she could play in healing the wounds of the past. Nika's return marked a pivotal moment for Agboka. Her wisdom, once cast aside, now became the cornerstone of the village's resurgence. With her guidance, Agboka embarked on a journey of introspection and healing, addressing long-standing grievances and bridging divides that had fractured the community. Under Chief Obidi's leadership, and with the wisdom of Ifeka and Neka and Okoro, Agboka underwent a cleansing of sorts, shedding the vestiges of its tumultuous past. The village emerged as a symbol of unity, resilience, and hope, drawing people from neighboring villages who sought inspiration and strength from Agboka's remarkable transformation. Agboka's metamorphosis was not just in its social fabric, but in its spirit. The village, once known for its strife, became a sanctuary for those in search of healing, wisdom, and a sense of community. It stood as a testament to the power of redemption, the strength of collective will, and the enduring nature of hope and love. As the sun set on Agboka, bathing the village in a golden hue, Chief Obidi Ifeka, and the people of Agboka stood united, a vibrant tapestry of lives intertwined by shared experiences and a common vision for the future. In this new chapter of their story, Agboka was not just a place on the map, but a beacon of light, guiding the way toward a brighter, more inclusive future.
Ifeka, the barren woman's story, teaches the importance of actively seeking to break free from the cycles of pain and misfortune that may be perpetuated through generations. Their actions to heal and seek forgiveness demonstrate that one does not have to be bound by past sins or the shadows of their ancestors, but can choose a path of healing and righteousness. The story underscores the significance of acknowledging and confronting one's past to understand present challenges, similar to uncovering generational curses. Ifeka's journey to understand her ancestry and Chief Obidi's reflection on his actions illustrate the importance of delving into one's heritage to unearth and rectify the roots of enduring conflicts or curses. Exodus 20:5-6 NIV. You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the parents to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. Numbers 14:18 NIV. The Lord is slow to anger, abounding in love and forgiving sin and rebellion. Yet he does not leave the guilty unpunished. He punishes the children for the sin of the parents to the third and fourth generation. Whether you are Christian or not, I believe there should be a solution within every belief system to help break generational curses in your lineage. This is a powerful aspect of human existence that we often do not take seriously enough. Yet, many of us remain trapped by these cycles, often feeling as though there are no viable solutions. Moreover, many are unaware of the underlying forces at play, oblivious to the patterns shaping their lives. Don't wait until it's too late. Start seeking solutions now. The biblical virtue of patience is mirrored in Ifeka and Chief Obidi's story. The couple's long wait for a child, reminiscent of Abraham and Sarah in Genesis, underscores the faith they maintained in their beliefs and values. The eventual fulfillment of their desires reinforces the scriptural promise that faith, coupled with patience, bears fruit in due time, Galatians 6:9. Just as the Bible teaches forgiveness through the parable of the prodigal son, Luke 15:11-32, Ifeka's forgiveness of Chief Obidi after his repentance highlights the transformative power of grace and mercy. This teaches us the importance of forgiveness, even in the face of deep-seated betrayal, as a path to personal peace and communal harmony. Their journey shows that healing is not only personal, but also communal, involving collective efforts to address past wounds and forge a path toward a unified and prosperous future. Through the hardships and interactions among characters, the story teaches the value of empathy and compassion. Understanding and sharing the feelings of others can lead to profound healing and meaningful connections, as demonstrated by Ifeka's compassionate actions towards the widows. It shows that inner strength and perseverance can overcome formidable challenges, leading to eventual victory over personal and communal adversities, and her eventual reconciliation with Chief Obidi. Eager for more tales, be they magical or grounded in reality, stay tuned by subscribing and hitting the bell icon so you won't miss our next story. Show some love with a like, Share this journey with others and share your thoughts in the comments. The next chapter awaits, full of surprises and insights. Until then, thank you for being part of our storytelling adventure.